Hello there. I'm just going to go through the day's events for Thursday, the 24th of June. All right, so like every morning, while we're waiting for all the children to arrive, they can start off with their morning comprehension. Please make sure that they are all doing one. Some children like to skirt this and pretend they've done, so just make sure that they are all doing it. All right, they can also read. I don't allow activities like playing Lego or card games at this time of the morning, simply because I think it unsettles them and they need to do activities that sort of get them into the swing of things. All right, right about 8:15, all the children should be more or less there, and then you can start with the day's events. So we can start off with Afrikaans speltits. That will be done in the back of the test book. Get the monitor to hand out the test books. Please write the date and heading, the speltits, and the Afrikaans date. Also, please make sure that they set it out properly. They should know by now. They can refer back to other tests that they've done. When we test the Afrikaans, we test, they write the Afrikaans word on the left-hand side and then the English meaning on the right-hand side. Let me see if I can find an example for you right here. Okay, so here's an example. Okay, so they have to write the Afrikaans word on the left-hand side and the English meaning. If they don't spell the English word correctly, they don't lose a point, so long as you can make out the word. But the Afrikaans word has to be spelled correctly. When you're marking, they get a mark for the correct Afrikaans word. If they don't know the English meaning, they only get half a mark for that word, because it's very important that they not only spell the word properly, but they also understand what it means. It's no good learning a bunch of words in another language and you do not know what it means. All right, if they get an Afrikaans word wrong, they need to write it out 3 times as a correction. All right, so that's how we set out the Afrikaans speltits. Once you've called out the words, I usually put each word in a sentence as well, just to give it context in an Afrikaans sentence. Once you've called out the words, they can wait quietly at their desk, and then you can call them. I usually do it row by row, but you can do it one by one, and just mark it there and then. They usually get a megabuck if they get full marks, but since I'm not there, you can just give them row points. When I get back, they can the winning row can get a prize. All right, that is the Afrikaans spell toots. Then they can go on to the 9 times table. The 9 times table is done in their hardcover maths books. And again, it gets a heading and the maths date. All right, and then you can just call, this is how we set it out. This child must have been absent when the 9 times table was done. That's why I've just got it in pen here. But we call it out randomly. I'll send you a screenshot of this. Sorry about the splotches everywhere. All right, and then once this is done, they can swap books, and you can call out the answers and you can mark it. They give a mark out of 12, and again, if they get full marks, they can get 100 row points for that. All right. After that, they can go on to Pragmas. So Pragmas today we're doing page 97 to 100. And it's just carrying on with space and shape. Today's Pragmas is a bit easier than yesterday's. All right, so this is just where they give an object, and they have to say what view they are seeing just by looking at the given diagram. All right, so it's either going to be side, top, front, or back, depending on what kind of view it is. Okay, but it says here right, front, side, back, or top under each figure in the other 3 columns. All right, so you can do that. Explain it, get them to do it, then you can go over to mark it and then go on to the next section. All right, this one, the given picture shows an object is seen from the front, side, top and back, name the object. All right, and they can just say what they are seeing there, and then again, just mark it. Then they can go onto this grid, all right, grid coordinates. They just follow the instructions, and they plot out the path that rabbit takes to get to the carrot. All right, and this is what it should look like if they're following the instructions properly. All right, again, if they're not doing it properly, just go around behind them, check. If they're getting it wrong, tell them to rub it out and redo it. Once they get it right, then I actually allow them to highlight it like this, but only once they get it right. Okay, then they can just fill in these answers here, the blank spaces about symmetry. And then from 2.2, they don't have to do. All right, so they can just put a nice, neat diagonal line through that page on page 99. Okay, this last page is again just drawing the symmetrical side of each one of these drawings. This is more difficult than what it appears to be. So again, when they say they're finished, get them to show you. The drawings have to look like this. If they don't, they have to rub it out and try again. It's very important that they actually get the mirror image of the side that they are given. All right, so yeah, they need to try that again until it looks more or less right. All right, and that's the maths for today. Like I said, it's much easier than what they did yesterday. All right, that should take you up to break time or lunchtime. If by 10 o'clock they finish, they can start eating at their desk, and then from 10:30 to 11, they can go out and have a run around. Okay, then after break, they're going to do Geniet it, pages 51 and 52. All right, this is nice, a nice little activity on different, it just enlarges their vocabulary, and they just need to find 4 words for different categories here. So what I normally do is I write clearer on the board, I tell them it means colors, and I get them to give 4 examples, so it becomes a nice sort of discussion activity as well. They give 4 examples of different colors, write it on the board, then we go on to the next thing. Vruchte, which is fruit. Again, get them to give you examples of different kinds of fruits. Obviously, if they're stuck, then you can help them out. All right, it goes on to troeteldiere, groentes, and wilde diere. All right, and it just also, it's nice to see how many words they can come up with by themselves. But write these words on the board, or the words that they come up with on the board, so that they can get the correct spelling. All right, then the page 52 goes on to things that we find in the kitchen: kombuis, tuin, badkamer, slaapkamer, en klaskamer. All right, so that is Geniet it. All right, the last thing that we are doing today is the poem in Smart Kids English on page 62. I'm not going to add in anything more, because when it comes to poetry writing, some children really struggle and they need just that extra time. All right, so this is the exercise, the little activity they're doing, Crocodile Crunch. You can read all about this. You can read the poem that they give you here. And then I get them to highlight the last word on each line of the poem, just so that they can see how those words rhyme. So please just emphasize when you write a poem, the lines are shorter. They're not full-on sentences. They're short phrases, and the ending words will rhyme with each other, just like it is in the poem here. So we call that poem format. They learn different kinds of formatting in grade 3. So this is just another style of writing that they need to get used to. All right, so just to repeat that, poems have shorter lines and phrases, and the words on the end rhyme with one another. All right, so then they can go on to write their own poem. It says there, write your own poem about a crocodile or another animal. Here are some words to help you. They don't have to use these words. As you can see in this case, this child wrote a poem about a parrot. And again, she listened to the instruction. So it's short little phrases, and the words on the end are rhyming like that, and I've allowed her to highlight it. And this is a poem that they have to come up with themselves. So what I do is I get them to first practice their poem in their jota. All right, come up with a poem in their jota. Their jota is their rough writing book, and they must come and show you. If you're happy with it, then they can come and write it in their Smart Kids book. Otherwise, if it's not up to scratch, they need to try again. They also need to like come up with their own original ideas. If you see they are copying from one another, then just put a stop to that. So you'll find some children will get this in 5 minutes, and others will really struggle, but they'll eventually get it. And the odd child just won't be able to get it at all. Then that child you can help, but you will pick that up if that is happening. All right, and that is that for Thursday. All the best.